Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one of the favorite videos of the entire course. I can guarantee it right now. I've been working on this vision board for almost 6 or 7 years, and once I really started to get it dialed, I really just started with creating OKRs for myself. But then I built out this vision board, and now not only do I feel primed, optimistic, ready for the day, I read this every single morning. And one of the funniest things right here, I literally have it in a duotang. My friends all love that word, duotang. But I highly recommend reading this every single morning. It starts my day off amazing. And I'm going through a phase right now where some of these things are changing, and that's okay. But I always want to be looking at this and making sure that I'm clear on my vision and who I want to be, what I want to be working on. And this allows me every single morning to get in a headspace to focus on those things. So let's dive right in. I start off with my own personal core values, which I'm currently kind of working through these. You see the cardinal virtues of stoicism on the side here. Wisdom, temperance, courage, justice. I literally have that tattooed on my body. My core values are: I want to be a happy, healthy human. I am courageous and confident. I'm filled with abundance. I always want to be learning. I believe in Kaizen. I talk about that more within this course. Focus and finish strong. I know that finishing things can be so hard sometimes, but you have to stay focused to do that. I find motivation in discipline. If you're disciplined and you have consistency, really no one can stop you. I want to nurture myself. I don't want any negativity in my life. I want to be greater than infinity. Granity, that's a term coined by Kobe. One of the things that I'm going through right now is, how do I take these values that I've learned from so many people and over the years and developed and create them for just me as Josh? And so these are things that I'm still working on and will continue to work on. I want to make more magical, meaningful memories. And of course, brutal honesty delivered kindly, which you guys have heard from me before. Every morning, a friend of mine, Danny, reads himself, he actually listens to this as a daily gratitude prayer. I'm not going to read it all to you, but I highly recommend you create one of these for yourself. It primes my mind to be in a good state. I read myself some affirmations. I also have a little bit of my routine in Espanol. These affirmations, this is next. I read probably one of these each morning. I really find myself reading the health one a lot more often than I do the greatness, but I pulled these from Ray Lewis on Spotify. I'd highly recommend bookmarking those and listening to them. I then look at my financial goals. What's 2024 today to 2030 look like? I want to build a real estate portfolio at $10 million. I want to have a $10 million crypto portfolio. I want to have passive income of 6 figures a month. I want to donate at least 6 figures a year. I want my daily buyback rate, which is a thing that Dan Martell told me, and Naval Ravikant. And this number is a little high right now, but eventually I'll get there. $5,000 a day. My buyback rate, that's my daily rate for myself. Now let's go into my buyback rate. This is how much I'm willing to pay someone to do things that I don't like. And it's been crazy influential. Now, that number I think is really high. I don't pay anyone that much to help me with things I don't like still, but I'll eventually get there. And I want to get into the mindset that I can actually do that. And what's my target net worth? By 2030, I'd like to get to 50 million. This might be a massive stretch goal. Even if I only get to 20 or 30, I'm still on the path, right? I believe that your 20s is really for learning. Your 30s is for implementing those skills and starting to make money. Your 40s and 50s are where you really live in that and make the most money. I've been lucky enough to make a couple $1 million in my 20s and then make quite a few more $1 million in my 30s, and I want to keep that going. What are my long-term goals? You guys can look at this. Create them for yourself. Now, there's a caveat with this that I'm going to change here in the near future. I was listening to some internet entrepreneur recently, and one of the things that he said was, once you make a few $1 million, your relationship with money changes a lot. I'm going through that phase right now. Today, one of my biggest changes that I've realized is that I have about $250,000 saved in cash that no one can touch. That if you took everything away from me today, I am 100% confident that within 12 months, I'd be back on my feet and I wouldn't run out of money. I could probably live in Mexico for 3 or 4 years on that. And I know that if I took that much time and focus, I could rebuild all of this. So also just like, what's your amount that makes you feel safe in your account? And I think I need to add this in here, so I probably will. What were my OKRs for this year? Well, I thought that I wanted to do 75 hard. For the last 4 years, I've done 75 hard, and it's been incredibly valuable. But I know it takes a toll on my body. And right now I'm in a place where I just want to live healthily 24/7. I don't want to just have 75 days a year where I'm super focused. So I've changed that. A year of sobriety and clarity. I've talked about this on social media a little bit, but I quit smoking weed this year. And over the last few years, I got really addicted to it. And I'm open to talk to any of you about this because I really think weed is one of the worst drugs that is out there because it's legal in Canada and it makes you lazy. It ruins your brain. It ruins your ability to learn. And it just makes you not care and it makes you very comfortable. So for me this year, no smoking weed was a huge thing. And my reward is I'm going to buy myself a new watch. I like watches. I want to run or bike 4 marathons. I hired a new spiritual coach. I want to get to a sub 10 handicap. I've always wanted to do a week-long yoga retreat. I'm going to travel to 5 new places. I'm going to learn to speak Espanol todo el tiempo. And I want to read 100 books. I read for 2-3 hours a day on average. It's one of my favorite things to do. It just makes me feel peaceful and calm. And I reread a lot of books. You guys can go to the library and see. That's probably only 50% of the books that I've read. Make money matter and excel financially. Donate more money. Continue building my crypto portfolio. Start a newsletter and a course for all of you. Receive my final earnout from Adam Data. Increase my other business, US Realty, to a certain amount of subscriptions. Buy a multifamily property. It might not be in the US anymore. Another goal that's kind of changing right now. Build incredible relationships. Monthly dinners with my girlfriend. We definitely do that. We probably do weekly right now. I want to go on 4 vacations with her. I want to buy my parents a house in Edmonton. I closed on that February 20th. As we're talking about this, it's February 28th, and I feel incredibly proud of that. I want to host a quarterly dinner with my friends and family. I want to have 4 friend vacations. Just went to Scottsdale. And then I took a celebration trip with a bunch of my old employees to Big White, and it was incredible. I loved hanging out with them. I'm not close with all of them yet. Well, not yet, but I'm going to get closer with a handful more of them this year, and I can't wait to continue supporting them on their journey post what we built with Dadeners and Estated. Every morning I look at these photos. That's my little brother, that's my dad, that's my mom. Just fills my heart. Love my life, Andrea. I look at this every single morning. I look at this, all my friends. You'll see Cole, Legacy, Steve, Rebecca, the Hatters, Jason, Isaac, Teron, Emily, Shoechuck and Will, my tattoo artist, Donovan, Andrew's in there, Evan's in there, Bobby, John Mack. I have such an incredible friend group. I'm so grateful for it, and I always want to remind myself of some of my favorite memories. Here's another one. Philip McKernan made me do this, 7-8 years ago when we were on a personal development retreat in Mexico working at an orphanage. What are the 10 best days of your life? I remind myself every single morning what the 10 best days of my life were. And I want to make more of these. I already have a few more that I really should add in there, but one of them was, for my entire life, we've been celebrating Christmas with 50 plus people in my family. It's a chaotic 3 or 4 days, but it's an amazing memory. When the pandemic happened, I hosted my first Christmas with my family, and it was fucking incredible. I had the best time of my entire life. The time my mom beat cancer, I'll never forget that day. It literally makes me emotional thinking about it right now. In 2016, my little brother and I went to the NBA All-Star Weekend in Toronto. The first time I bought a house. The first time I got to go on a date with Claire Wineland at Disneyland, and she told me all about it. She's passed now, but I still donate to her charity. I love her family, and I'm a huge fan of Claire's Place Foundation. The day that I finished Techstars and got to talk on a stage in front of 1,300 people, and I had huge pit stains, and I was nervous, and I had a tic, and I was freaked out to talk in front of that many people, but it was such a good learning experience. Going to Cabo with Andrea for the first time, closing my first venture capital round, cat skiing with my friends, Christmas parties with our company, Mexico retreats, working at the orphanage, and then selling my company was another day in my life that was absolutely insane. At 10 a.m., I fired my entire team in tears with love, gave them 3 months severance. Everyone got a little bit of a payday. I was incredibly grateful, extremely hard moment. And then at 4 p.m., I was onboarded to Adam. One of the wildest days of my life. But every day I remind myself of these things because they make me feel good. And I want to create more of these. Next. This is just motivation. You guys can put whatever you want in here. I'm obsessed with mansions. Do I really want to own one of these? Right now, I don't know. The uptake on one of these houses would cost way too much freaking money, and I'm not in a place in my life where I want to deal with that. But one day, when I have a family, I will own a house like this. I also told myself that if I can make it a year and do all the things that I want, I'm going to buy myself a supercar. I ordered a Cybertruck a while ago. I've always wanted to have a Rolls Royce. And one day I'm going to drive a Lambo just because why not? If that's what you want, that's what you want. So this is my vision board. I literally read this every single day. It's in a duotang. And I would highly encourage you to get this and do it for yourself every day. So I'm so glad I got to share this with you. I'm going to share you guys a template so you can create your own as well. But I love you all. I hope this is valuable.